Are there any other presidential portrayals that you look to in preparing for the role?
Good question. I found I like to study real people as opposed to watching actors that play real people. So, I think I've drawn, of course, you can't help but deal with what's in your reality. And, of course, seeing the current President Obama, there may be shades of him I've kind of played with, and President Kennedy, of course, President Clinton, even Ronald Reagan to a certain extent, and it's, the fact that he's very engaging and a storyteller. So I have to say, just different smatterings of different people, but then again, this is a whole new character. He's a fictional character. As you said, his name is President Elias Martinez. He's the first Afro-Cuban president, but he's also the first president to have a bipartisan cabinet. In other words, we'll never say what party my president is supposed to be from, but whatever that party is, the vice president is the opposite. So I hope that answers your question.
Hey, Blair, it's nice to meet you. I'm really looking forward to the event. I think it's going to be a great show. It seems like it's going to be kind of like an ensemble piece with a lot of characters, a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. I was also a fan of LA Law, and it seems like it's a big cast and a lot of stuff going on. And I'm a huge Sex and the City fan, and that is more like you did most of your scenes with just one person, Cynthia Nixon. Do you have a preference in terms of format, like one person or a group of people? What's more of a challenge, that type of thing?
Well, thank you. The great thing about ensemble television, and this really is an ensemble. I mean, you see Jason and I sitting here, but there are about eight regulars in the cast. I tell you, I think most actors will tell you we like to work. So whenever I can work more, and sometimes it's just with one actor, I prefer doing that. I did have a chance to do a show last year called 2 years ago, In Treatment. It was just for HBO. It was two people in a room talking, and actors want to work, so I enjoy that. The great thing with an ensemble is you get a chance to work with, usually if that ensemble is very good at what they do, and this one definitely is, you get a chance to interact with other actors that are at the top of their game, like Jason Ritter here. Who gets to do all the fun action. I just walk around in a suit and tie.
This
Yeah.
is a question for both of you. It seems that in all the interviews there's a lot of comparisons drawn to shows like Lost and Heroes and Flash Forward. Do you find that good comparison, or would you rather that the show stand on its own merit?
Well, I think I think that it's nice to be compared to Lost and and like these shows that had huge followings and but I think we're in a good place because our producers they've seen where those shows succeeded, and they've seen where people have been frustrated and disappointed with those shows, and they've really wanted to make sure that, I guess the main thing that they wanted to make sure for our show is that they continue supplying answers along the way, and they really have been, much more than I thought that they would, but they've in the second episode, you find out such huge things about the world and the mythology that we're dealing with. So that was one thing, and I think, every new show is going to get compared to some other shows, and usually that happens before it launches, and then it launches, and then it takes on its own new thing. I wonder what they were comparing Lost to, though. That was a pretty new show. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see what everyone thinks of it, but I don't mind being lumped in that category for now.
Yeah, we could be compared to worse, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason, this question's for you, kind of a similar question. Even though it only lasted one season, I enjoyed The Class, and I thought it was really funny. And that's comedy, and this is obviously a drama. It's a little bit more intense. For you, do you have a preference, comedy, drama, that type of thing, or is it similar where it's like you just like to work?
I definitely, first and foremost, I just like to work. There's something about comedy. Comedy is so much fun, and you go to work and you laugh all day, and then you put that into your work, and so that's a lot of fun. But there's something about drama that I really like, because it feels like it includes everything about life. Even in the event, I try to slip little moments of humor in whenever I can, but a lot of times in comedies, in order to keep it light and laughing, we ignore some of the darker, harder things to deal with. And I enjoy all of the hard things and then laughing through all that. So I don't know. I mean, I like them both. Is the short answer.
Have you guys made any adjustments to the way you play your characters since shooting the pilot in spring? Now that you're better through season, what is
Yeah, I tried to lose about 10 pounds. I saw a pilot said, I look kind of pumped up. But aside from that, adjustments. Not so much, because what was interesting about this project, which is somewhat unique in my personal experience, is that in talking to the producers early on, they really knew how they wanted to map out the future of this show for the next 2 years, next 5 years. Now, you may or may not know, but when we do a pilot, the first episode, most often nowadays, we don't know if it'll ever be turned to a series. We have to go through this process. We wait 2 or 3 months to see if NBC or the network will buy the show for a series. So we didn't really quite know, but we knew if it went to series, they had a plan. So right now we have a chance to execute the plan. So I don't see a lot of changes other than 10 pounds. Aside from that, I think we're on track.
I didn't either. I mean, when the online material started to appear for the event, because I watched Lost all the way through from beginning to end, and when I would finish an episode, I would go online and look at all the, supplementary material and go on forums and stuff like that. And so I was really excited when the event stuff started coming out, and I read my own character bio and found out a few little other things about it. Not that you can really incorporate the fact that Sean Walker has read The Stand 7 times into any particular scene that you're doing. But, it's nice little pieces of information to hold on to. So I love learning about my character, and it's nice that they've really thought all of these characters through and fleshed them out. And a lot of times in a pilot, they'll say, if we get to series, then we'll tell you what your character is. And they didn't, but then they always knew that they were telling the first chapter of a long, long story when they were making this pilot. So that was exciting.
Now, did I hear an Australian accent?
Yes, I'm from Melbourne.
From Melbourne? Okay, all right. I went there to Sydney many years ago and loved it. So next time you go back, please say hello for me.
I will. I'll say hello to the Sydney time.
I guess one other question. The show's being hyped. It's all over the billboards and the buses in Times Square. If the show blows up, if it's another Lost or Heroes, how are you guys going to deal, or are you prepared to deal with the fans and all of the stuff that comes along with the craziness of being on a show like this? Because I'm sure it's got to be intense for you guys working on the show and then dealing with all of the hype and just the fandom that comes along with being on a show like this one.
It is. Good question. They're telling us to wrap it up, so I'll just be very quick. Man, you know what? That would be a problem that would be nice to have. we really do hope, because we've been working our backsides off, everybody, to make a good product and a good show for you guys to watch, and we hope people respond to it, and that's icing on the cake. I mean, whenever people respond in that sort of way, that's a blessing, and that's a gift. So my feeling is you just take it as such and keep on moving and keep focusing on doing good work, and keep giving you good stuff to watch.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I feel like I'm already at that point of like fan crazy the show, just reading the episodes. So that'll make me feel like I'm not alone. So it'll make me feel like I'm not strange. So I would look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
See if you can warm up New York before I get there.